What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Binding of Isaac. This is Priets. Forgot to say that in the beginning of this, but we are back and better than ever. So right now it is the night before Friday night, or Friday. It's the night, but it's Thursday night. That's the easiest way to say. It is Thursday night. So tomorrow I'm going to be busy driving around, being safe, wearing my mask and stuff. But I will be occupied tomorrow, so I'm recording my episode tonight. Yeah, so yesterday, super good run. Apollyon, super good run. I didn't mention it during the episode, but I got a lot of very lucky voided items that turned into damage ups, and I got lots of damage up. It was just a very successful run, so it's exciting to see his page basically fully complete. I'm trying to decide who to play today. I think I'm gonna play Blue Baby, because all I need on him is Boss Rush and Hush. If that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But let's get right into the episode. So today, I got my brand spanking new camera. I got my Sony A6600. I basically got it about noon today and just was messing around with it, and I also got a Ronin SC gimbal for it, and so I've just been booling and just messing around with it, having a good time. Super cool stuff. The DJI gimbal is very interesting. One thing you have to do is you have to balance the gimbal with your camera. I don't know how. I'm probably less educated than some people watching this video right now. Damon, if you're out there, I respect you. So I put a piece on that was recommended for the Sony, like the Sony Alpha mirrorless cameras. But the issue with what my setup was, I already had a small rig on it. So if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically just like a little cage that protects it. This piece was meant to lift up the mirrorless camera a little bit more, just to, like, I think help balance it, or I don't remember exactly why, but the small rig takes the place of it. But I put the piece on anyways. I mean, I did not know the small rig took the place of it. I just put it on, and it was fine balancing it. Ooh, very good item for damage up. It's a good damage up as well. I really need to be using my poop. So yeah, it was all fine and dandy balancing the gimbal whenever I didn't have a phone mounted on top. And so one thing that the DJI gimbal has, that's like one of its cool features that it flexes on all the people, is the fact that it has something called active track. And so you have to mount your phone on top of the camera, and mounting a phone on top of the camera, honestly, the phone is almost as heavy as the camera. And so whenever you put the phone on top, it is so hard to balance because it is so top heavy. And so because I had this little piece that it recommended me to have, it caused the camera to be like half an inch higher, which honestly doesn't sound like that much, but whenever you're dealing with a small camera and a small phone, that half an inch just completely messed me up, or messed the balancing up. And so the only way I could get it balanced is by putting the tilt axis arm all the way down. And what happened is, whenever you do a balance test, the arms would touch each other and the motors would get all real mad at you and just freak out. And so after a while, I figured out, okay, I can just attach this without putting this little metal bracket piece on. I did that. Everything was fine and dandy. Everything worked 10 times better. I was able to finally actually balance it in a way that the camera was not mad about. So that was super cool. It has a lot of really cool features. It has a sport mode, active track mode. The sport mode's pretty cool. It's cool, but I don't exactly know what it does. I know that it's really good for fast movement of the actual gimbal. And so there's a guy who did a YouTube video about it. If you guys watch camera YouTubers, which I'm guessing lots of people might not, watching this video, maybe they do. Maybe I'm just out of the loop of Isaac people all wanting cameras or something. But he did a display of it, and it was really cool watching him do like a little basketball shot using the sport mode. And it was very clean, very wholesome content, and it's just a very cool product. It is gimbals are much harder to use than I imagined. They're not as easy peasy lemon squeezy as, I don't know if I'm the only one who thought that, if that's just general information, that they are a little bit difficult to use. Mainly because whenever I put the phone mount on it, the phone mount causes so many issues. Whenever you put the phone mount on it, it becomes top heavy. That means you have to lower the tilt arm, and by lowering the tilt arm, you bring in a bunch of new issues such as, the tilt arm's too low. The camera can't tilt as much, and you can't do an undersling carry, which is basically whenever. Whew, that was not fun. It's basically whenever the camera is like at your feet, and so the gimbal is being held downwards, and not being able to do that. It's not an issue, but it makes it so it's having the phone on there just messes up a lot of usability. So basically in the future I'm not going to use that. One thing that's kind of upsetting, I don't know if upsetting is exactly what I mean. Ooh, change. Okay. Was that worth it? Maybe not. But one thing that was upsetting about I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought. It's an extremely cool product. I'm excited to learn how to use it more. I do need to move a little bit faster. I forgot that I'm going for boss rush. I gotta say, I hate whenever the game, like on this floor, I don't think I've had a single key this entire run. I don't know what the game expects. There's probably a secret room that I could have gotten a key in, but I used my bomb on the tinted rock, and so I hate when the game does not supply you with the stuff you need to get into an item room, because item rooms are kind of like basic. You get one item per floor. It's what basically ramps up your game. Oh, I shouldn't have taken Pageant Boy. It's fine. It'll allow me to buy an item, maybe make up for what I lost. I'm gonna take Contract from Below. It's gonna be a risky move. That's not Contract. It's the pack. That's what I meant. So I don't have to fight Mega Satan, and that's why I'm doing this. The reason I took Contract from Below is because it is a damage up. It's also damage up. I don't know. I forgot what else it is. Damage up is the only part that I really care about. Having that damage up, big good stuff. Because as I said in other episodes, is damage up like 1.7 like 8 damage up, which I think I got by using the Thorn Crown item. That's a lot of damage. Because if you think about it, if you only do 3 damage and you hit a guy 3 times, you're only doing, I'm dumb, but I think it's 10.5 damage. As soon as you get that 1.78, wow, I hate these guys. These guys are snipers. Once you get that 1.78 damage, that is 6 more damage in those 3 hits than you would have had before. And so it's basic just understanding like of math. Numbers plus numbers equal bigger numbers. So damage ups are always good. Of course, also tiers up, because if you can fire 3 tiers faster than you can like get damage, or just faster, then you're going to do more damage. So it's all a game of trying to get the most damage per second. Damage does not really matter, because if you have a low tier rate and high damage, sure, that's good, but low tier rate, the issue is if you miss a shot, your damage per second goes down greatly. So it's a weird balance of what you want. I hate this. I hate these worms. I hate everything in this game, honestly, but yeah, the perfect, having like decent damage and good tier rate is honestly my favorite way to go about it. Of course, having great damage and great tier rate, that would be sick, but that's not always something that's possible. So yeah, it's just get what you can get. It's all random in this game. Okay, I don't mind Yo Listen, because it does find tinted rocks in secret rooms, and sometimes it can also find secret passages. Sadly, I don't have a bomb, so that is pretty useless to me. Other stuff about the camera. I'm gonna go back to that because I'm just so pumped. I've been watching videos since I've been in the market to buy a camera, and since I bought the camera, of everything you need to know about the camera. And now that I have the camera, all that information is out of my brain, and I feel like I know nothing, which I do know nothing, so it's fine. But ooh, I forgot that's what the question mark card did. Okay, let's hope that this gets us some soul hearts. But the camera is so sick. It is. I got the Sigma 30mm lens that has an aperture. The smallest aperture size, or the biggest aperture, is 1.4, which, for any of you who don't know about like anything about cameras, if you ever do portrait mode on your phone, it's having a larger aperture means that it's a lower number, but a larger aperture means that the camera's very wide open, has very little depth of field, and so it gives you this nice creamy look to it. And it looks I'll explain it looks like portrait mode on like an iPhone, because it doesn't exactly portray how it looks, because ooh, it looks so nice, but that's basically what it does. So I'm in love with the camera. It's super cool. But other than that, I have nothing else really much to say, because I have been messing with it all day, but I've really gotten nowhere with it because I'm kind of dumb, and I'm just bad at using, apparently. Cameras have lots of buttons on them, lots of buttons, lots of settings, lots of different things that you have to learn how to use, and I have not learned how to use those. So to get off the camera topic, because I don't know if you guys exactly want to hear about cameras, I'm gonna get into a little bit of, I'm gonna kind of follow up on Damien and I's episode yesterday, except I'm not gonna talk about High School Marching Band, because that's something that, since Damien and I weren't together, I'm gonna save that to talk about in future podcasts. So us calling it a podcast, we know it's not exactly a podcast. It's kind of more of us just, we want to do podcasts maybe sometime in the future. And so just by calling it a podcast, it's just fun for us to say. I'll take this over. That was a waste of money. But as I said yesterday, yes, I did High School Marching Band. I only did it for 3 years, but I will say I was in the flute section for 2 years. I then was the drum major. Okay, I was really confused. I was like, why is that not working? So I was in flute section for 2 years, drum major for 1 year. I know I just repeated myself. It's fine, Damien. I'm talking to Damien because he listens to all these episodes, and I think it's funny to directly mention him, so he feels like I'm talking straight to him. But after that, whenever I went to college, actually, let me rewind that a little bit. Whenever I went to drum major camp, I went to a drum major camp for a drum corps, which drum corps is basically like hardcore marching band. It's something that people go to during the summers and spend many days. They spend the entire summer nonstop being with a marching band and doing crazy shows. And after going to that, I really wanted to do DCI, Drum Corps International. And so, because I wanted to do drum corps, I was going to do college marching band, but I didn't want to do flute, because drum corps only do brass instruments for the most part. They also do percussion, but they don't do flute, they don't do clarinet, they don't do saxophone, they don't do any instrument that you can think of that's not brass. So, gotta get around that real quick. I decided that I was going to do baritone, because the guy at the camp, one of the people who worked with Phantom Regiment, he was like, if you want to do drum corps and you don't play a brass instrument, your best bet is to switch to euphonium, which is the same thing as baritone, which is just it's a smaller tuba and a bigger trumpet. So at that point, I was like, okay, sounds like a good time. I am going to join the baritone section of my college marching band and audition for DCI. I also, at the end of high school, borrowed a school instrument, never really practiced, used it to practice like a week before band camp. There's a bunch of issues because I got my wisdom teeth out 2 weeks before college band camp. And the issue with that is you're not exactly supposed to be, you can't play instruments after you get your wisdom teeth out. So the entire summer I was procrastinating, and in the time that I wanted to be practicing, I couldn't because I had fresh wounds in my mouth that required intense healing, or else I was gonna die, basically. You can technically bleed out from getting your wisdom teeth out, but it's only if you're being real dumb and like actually harshly reopen some wounds. Wow. My luck for these devil deals is off the charts. So, let's see. Yeah, I gotta keep trekking because I want to do boss rush. So, to continue with my story, I joined the baritone section. I only played it for about a week, and I didn't exactly learn how to play the instrument. All I really did was learn how to play a song based off of looking at the fingerings in a music book. So, I learned how to play the fight song for the school, and that was about it. And so I knew the fingerings for most of the notes, but I could not actually really, I didn't know what note I was playing exactly, and I couldn't just hear and be like, okay, I'm playing an A, I'm playing a B. I did not know what note was going to come out when I put my lips on the instrument. So it was rough. So then it comes to the first day of band camp, and for college band camp, I would say it's no joke. It's nothing major. It's pretty like lax, but we basically got there at 8 a.m. and played pretty much all day long until about 8 p.m. We had lunch breaks, we had various breaks, which allowed me to like cool down my chops, which chops is a term that you use in the band world to refer to your lips, basically your embouchure. And so by the end of the day, my lips were just completely like swole up, and I was in pain. My lips were in pain, my mouth hurt because we were playing all day. And I just went back to my dorm and just couldn't even move my lips. Could not manage the strength to move my own lips. It was okay. Since I died, I'm gonna do another run because I want to keep talking about this story, and maybe you guys want to hear about it too. I'm sorry that I don't know. I hate those those guys. I should have been more attentive to where they were. I'm not gonna go after these fires because I want to go quick. I wish I had a bomb. I could bomb that. These spiders, they're fast, they're dangerous, they're crazy. So yeah, band camp was a long journey, but at the end of it, I was 80% better, because as I talked about in another episode, you put in 20% of the work, you get 80% of the results, and then it takes a long time to get those last 20% of the results. It takes 80% more work to get the 20%. I think, whoa, I almost lost some health there, but it was a lot. That's what I have to say about band camp. But it was a super fun time. And then throughout the year, I was able to start getting better and better. During band camp, because I played flute. I mean, I played another instrument, and so that meant I had some sort of like mouth muscles called the embouchure. I had a pretty good embouchure, which meant that I could play pretty high notes because I was used to like having a very tight embouchure. So whenever it comes to instruments, like the bigger the mouthpiece, the looser you have your embouchure. And so with the baritone, it is the second, like it's technically the second largest instrument, if you don't count you don't count like euphonium, and you don't like count specifics, but it is the second largest instrument. So it has a big mouthpiece, and it takes a very loose embouchure. Flute, on the other hand, is the highest instrument other than the piccolo. And so going from one embouchure to the other, I had difficulty playing the range of the baritone, but I could squeak out these pretty high notes. And so that got me, I was able to get first part, second split, which basically meant I was not that good. And the only reason I got it is because they put bad people and good people on each part. Also, I have no clue where this item room is. Did I already get it? No, I did not already get it. Sorry, I gotta go backtrack. So that was pretty exciting. I was the bad person on the first part, second split, which just meant I was on the, if there's ever a 4-part split, I was on the lower notes. So I was on the second highest notes for the baritone part. And that really didn't come into play, so I just played the first part, which some people were upset at. Like my friend Max. He Blazing 456 might be his name. I don't know what it is. He streams on Twitch. Pretty cool guy, but he was on second part. So was my friend Dallas. I guess maybe should I mention names? Maybe I should mention names. If they ever find this, hey Max, Dallas, how you guys doing? But I don't think Dallas was as much mad because she was also a fellow flute player at some before she started playing baritone, but she started playing in high school. So being on first part was cool. Marching band was super fun. We were able to go to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, so that was super cool to be able to go to that. And in general, it was a super fun time. And Damien mentioned it in the other episode. Being in marching band, it, as like almost cringy as it sounds, it is like being in a little family. But in college marching band, our marching band was about 500 people. This particular year, since we were doing Macy's, it was a lot of people. I think we had over 500. I think the numbers changed every single time they announced it, but sometimes they would count the staff, sometimes they wouldn't count the staff, sometimes they would only count the actual students. But it was our section was actually the smallest in the band. The baritones were the smallest, even smaller than tubas, which is kind of surprising. But we were our own little family. We all hung out together. We would go get lunch together. We would just have a great old time together, and just it felt like a family. There's 27 of us, and so we would have little get-togethers. And if all of us were there, it was a fun time. Even if not all of us were there, it was fun. But it's a crazy experience having a group like that, which I feel like in many other clubs or sports or whatever you want to say, marching band's not a sport, especially in the college setting. It is a club, but you do get a grade for marching band. It is 1 credit. That is an elective that doesn't really count towards anything, but it's an easy A. It's 1 credit A. That's a small boost. Take what you can get. Also, this guy is making me mad. I hate spiders in this game. As I say I hate everything because I do. I really do. So there were some times that we would get together and have get-togethers with some other sections, do stuff, various activities, drink some good old hot cocoa and have cookies during Christmas, all that fun stuff. It was really just a super great time. So then the next year rolls around, or spring semester rolls around to my freshman year, and I apply for leadership. I get on leadership, which was a very cool experience. I got to band camp. I love marching band. I still to this day love marching band, but being on leadership was not like being in leadership in high school. It's not like I felt like I wasn't doing a good job. I stopped. I liked my entire group. Sometimes people could get on my nerves, but I liked everybody. But I just didn't like our leadership group as much, even though I love them all. Like to this day, I still love them all. Sometimes they would just really get in my hair, and it's just it was not something I wanted to do again. And so then I decided to transfer schools. Which, was it a mistake to transfer schools? Do I still want to do marching band? Yeah, I'd still love to do marching band, but it was not just marching band. It was a bunch of things that I was considering that went into consideration to transfer schools. The biggest thing being that if I stayed at the college I was at, I would not be able to continue marching band because the engineering program got just dumbly intense. And so the academic advisor that I had would basically tell all the marching band people, you got to drop that if you want to be successful in this program. And hearing that just made me dislike the engineering program for one. Then it made me know that like I wanted to keep doing the engineering program, but I didn't think it was exactly worth not doing marching band to continue that program. And so I kind of wish that I would have just, instead of transferring schools, maybe change majors. But right now I'm very happy at the school I'm at. I'm at the major that I wanted to do since freshman year of high school, even earlier than that, something that I wanted to do for a large portion of my life. So it's super exciting that I get to do that. But as I think Dave and I have mentioned it before, if we could, we'd rather not have real jobs. We'd rather do YouTube. Who would not rather do YouTube? Of course, I know YouTube is stressful. It's not the most fun things at all times because it is a real job. It is lots of time and effort put into it. If anybody, like, if you're a YouTuber watching this, of any sort, even if you're small. I know I'm tiny right now. 11 subscribers, you put hours of work into videos sometimes. Like my Minecraft finale, even though it's Minecraft, even though it's a video, it's not the best video ever, but it took me a while. It took me a good probably 4 or 5 hours. I don't know if that's a gross underestimate or overestimate, but it took me a long time to get the first part of the actual episode done. And so anyways, I transferred schools because it's the major that I wanted to do, and it would get me to the job that I have wanted to do for a long time. So I'm a biomedical engineering student now, which means that I can go into every single field of science. Just kidding. It means that I will be working on... Oh, I guess I'm using this card. I did not exactly mean to. But what that means for me is that I will be involved with certain just engineering that is part of the physiological systems of the body. So one of the big things that people recognize in biomedical engineering is prosthetics. Another thing is like artificial organs, like heart valves, pacemakers, also medical devices at hospitals, like the super intricate like surgery devices that allow surgery, like doctors to do surgery on grapes. That's biomedical engineers who work on those kind of devices. So that's the field that I am currently studying and doing. I'm going to do a minor in neurotechnology and computational neuroscience. Basically, what that means is I'm kind of a big nerd, and I want to connect the brain. I want to connect the brain to I want to connect the nervous system to prosthetics and create a more user-friendly prosthetic. Which, do I know how to do that? Nope. That's why I'm studying. So, I very much love the academics of the school I'm at. The campus is nowhere near the same. I don't have the friends. Like, as I said, the marching band kids were my family at JMU. They were like my closest people. I could go almost anywhere, see them, and we would just all wave, talk, and like we were all super close friends. There were a few people in the group that would not hang out with us as much, but we still all considered each other family. Even whenever some of them wouldn't show up to things or whenever they dropped band, we would still say hi and welcome them with open arms, because that's just we all loved each other. It was a great old time. So I'm gonna miss them. I'm going to try to go see them whenever I can, because at the end of the day, they are still some of my closest friends. I still have mad respect for what they do, and I'm gonna go watch football games and watch their shows, because I am in love with music and marching band. But marching band is over for me. The whole dream of DCI, as I said, I kind of mentioned that for didn't say anything after that, but the whole dream of DCI kind of died for me because I hate Able. I hate Able. Able's so dumb. It's one of the worst items. I hate Able. Able can be useful. Sack of sacks, not too bad. That can get me keys. Yeah, the dream of DCI died mainly because it costs so much to do DCI, and also with marching band, it's funny, if you want to do DCI, like it's you usually do like college marching band. Lots of people who do DCI do college marching band, and lots of the people in I guess I wouldn't say lots of people, but there was a good amount of people in the marching band of my college that were in DCI, and I would talk to about doing DCI, and they were all big advocates of DCI. But when it came to our marching band, our dates conflicted with the actual auditions for the DCI groups. And so whenever we went to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, that conflicted with one of the bigger audition dates, because we had to go directly from Macy's to New York to a football game coming back. So that meant I couldn't go, and that meant there's no hope for me. But I wasn't too distraught about that. It sad a little bit, but I was like, maybe next year. And so then the next year rolled around, and it just wasn't in the schedule. It was something that the dates conflicted once again. And at that point, I was transferring schools and not going to do marching band the next year. And so at that point, I did not want to do... I had no plans on doing marching band in the future. Now I kind of wish I would have done it, but the DCI season was actually completely canceled this year. So am I glad that I didn't go through like the whole ordeal of having to audition and pay money to get flights to other states in order to audition? Not really, but it would have been beneficial if I actually wanted to do DCI. Yes, it would have. So a big thing about DCI is most of the groups are either on West Coast. I mean, there's a lot on the East Coast. They're all over the U.S., but some of the bigger groups are in the Midwest or in the South, kind of. It's like a weird line that goes Midwest to like Texas to like North Carolina. So it's not the cheapest thing to go audition, and upon that, it is also about $5,000 to do it over the summer. So it's pretty cheap, honestly, because you get 3 meals a day, you get snacks every day, you get free housing for the entire summer. Of course, you don't get to like do anything else other than marching band the entire summer. So, am I distraught? No, I will survive. I will not let this get me down, but it's really whatever. It's just a missed opportunity, kind of, that I don't think will have. I mean, it's really whatever. So I'm going to grab Chaos because that's the only way to bring this bring this back. I'm gonna use Lovers just so I can. I'm gonna poop real quick. I really wish that I could grab the gift because I could just try to get a devil deal and just go crazy sicko mode. Bighorn, whatever his name is, hate him. If it's a character, if it's a enemy in this game, I hate it. I don't know, other like crazy stories. Marching band in college is definitely a whole different ball game almost, because we are all adults and we just have our own life. So we would just sometimes hang out in library, study. We would sometimes go get dinner out like off campus. We would sometimes just, I mean, there were parties that were held. I do not advocate for underage drinking, and many parties I was the designated walker home, because basically we'd have these little tiny baritone parties that had some people that people were cool with, or the person who was hosting the party were cool with, and nobody was given underage alcohol. None of that kind of stuff. None of that shenanigans happened completely. And as I said, I'm not lying when I said that I was the designated walker many times during these events. And we didn't have them that often, but there are fun times where we could just get together and blow off steam and not have to see each other in a school environment. And that is, changing the environment that you see people in is such a big, it's honestly really important. Like, if you see somebody in school every day, like in high school, like Damien and I did, it completely changes the game almost whenever you see them outside of school. It's so much more fun. It's so much more relaxed. You don't feel like you're conforming to some sort of rules. It's just a great time. And if anybody out there is still young, if somebody's out there in band like I was, who did not exactly want to do marching band, give it a try. Even if you have never done marching band, if you're considering joining some sort of group, any kind of group, and you're hesitant, join a group. I have always had the biggest anxiety joining a group. I tried to do lacrosse after I moved to Virginia, and I didn't do it. Then I tried to do it again my senior year, and I just wasn't good. I had not touched a lacrosse stick and actually played lacrosse in 4 years. And so it's one of those things that, do what you want to do. It can be very scary. You can get lots of anxiety trying to get out of your comfort zone and join a new group. Even marching band, it was uncomfortable. I mean, it really was uncomfortable going to band camp that first day in college and in high school, because you don't know anybody, especially in high school. Like, some people did know each other. There was many people who came from the same high school, but nobody from my high school was in my section. There were a bunch of people, like at least 3 people from my high school or 4 people from my high school that did marching band. So I had other people that I could, if I needed to, I could go talk to and like have some comfort of seeing a familiar face. But it was just amazing. I mean, honestly, at this point, yeah, look at me now. I love these people. They're like the second family to me. They're amazing people. Like, if there is a activity, if there's some sort of, I'm gonna grab it. if there's something that you are hesitant to do, like joining a sports team, doing marching band, doing some sort of club even in college, do it. You're not you're only gonna miss out on stuff. You're not gonna lose anything by joining a group. Now, if your grades get bad and that kind of stuff, that's a whole different story. But just go out, do stuff. Get to know people, make friends. Like, friends are the most important part about college. Having a social network that you can rely on. It is so easy to get sucked up into the game that is college. It is a grind. It is not fun at all times. And even at the school I go to now, a guy that I knew from my other college had also transferred, and so I knew him. It's nice having that like social network and having people that you can talk to. We helped each other on homeworks. We helped each other on we helped each other on homework and all that kind of stuff. We studied with each other. It's important to make friends. It's important to get out there, and the best way to make friends and get a large group of friends is joining a group. Now, do you have to completely love everybody that is in that group and think they're the best people? No. Do I think that everybody in my marching band group were my most favorite people in the world? Definitely not. There's some people that I did not like as much. There's some people who I thought were some of the coolest people, and honestly are some of my best friends. So you're always going to dislike people, but you're always going to find people that you also like. And joining a group that as big as the marching band I was in with 500 people, I made so many friends out of that whole experience. It was one of the best experiences in my life. I've never been really happier than I was in the best days of marching band. They're some of the happiest times I've ever had, because it was nice being outside. It was nice being active. It was nice just being able to have something that you can go to at the end of the day. It was every single day, even though some days it was oh, do I really have to go to marching band? At the end of practice, we would all go to dinner together. We'd have a great time at dinner. And that's one thing I regret not doing my sophomore year of college, is I would not go to baritone dinners, because I would rather go home and just go home. I would make dinner myself, even though I had a dining plan, and it was so much harder to make dinner myself. It was so easy to go to the dining hall. That's another thing, is don't seclude yourself in college. Don't seclude yourself in high school. Even if you're an introvert, even if it's hard for you to be social with people, I'm uncomfortable going out of my way to talk to people. Not going to dinner and that kind of stuff. That's just because I was going through a whole phase of, as I said, not exactly loving marching band, not exactly loving what I was doing. Of course, I had a fantastic time. I also stopped going to any and all, I would say, social functions, because I wasn't interested in that. There were some other reasons why I was no longer interested in that stuff, but it does not matter. I chose to just isolate myself, and it was one of the things that also made marching band miserable, is I was not having the best time at marching band, but I also was not exactly pushing myself to have a good time in that function. And I'm saying marching band because that is what I was doing, but if anybody's listening to this who it feels like they're going through a similar situation, just know that some of the best times that you will have in your life might be with a club, might be with a group, because maybe they're not your friends. I don't know how to state this. Maybe they're not your best friends, but they will be some of your friends for life. I will always, to this day, it's only been 6 months since I left my other school, and I still talk to my friends. I still play D&D sometimes with my friend Max. I still talk to Dallas. I still talk to one of my co-section leaders, who's honestly one of my favorite people, is a great inspiration to me in this world. It's great to join some sort of organization, whether it's a youth group of some sort, whether it's just a club. There's so many clubs out there. In high school you don't have as many choices, and in high school it doesn't really matter what you're good at, what you're bad at. You can do any sport that you want in high school, even if you're not good at, depending on what high school you went to. My high school was pretty bad at sports, so it really didn't matter if you were good. I I tried to do lacrosse because I had friends in lacrosse. It was my group of people. It was people that I was close to, and so that's why I decided to do one. I was gonna try lacrosse, but you can really go out and do anything. So Ludwig. If anybody out there watches the bad boy himself, Ludwig, he talked about in one of his videos, one of his streams, about him doing soccer all throughout high school. He said he was completely bad at it, but all of his friends did it, so he did it. And it's one of those things that even if you're not good at something, go out and do something. Get yourself active. One of the biggest mistakes that I can say that like I've made, people have made, is not joining some sort of not doing a sport, not doing a club. Freshman year of high school was honestly like I was extremely happy my freshman year of high school, because I would come back home and play. I would play CS:GO with my friend Noah, who, if you've watched the Nether episode, he pops in there, or the Wither episode, he pops in there for a second. We would play so many hours of CS:GO and just random games, and we had so much fun. But there's something about going out, being in a group, actually like participating, doing competitive stuff, even just performing in some way. If it's theater, if it's band, like band's a little bit different. You do band in school, but just having some sort of extracurricular activity is, one, good for like getting into college and just good on your resume, because you can, like, I can say that I was a section leader for a marching band, which was a paid position. Pretty cool. Yeah, and just never pass up opportunities. Like, try to do as much as you can in life while you have the chance, because after high school, like, you can't do any sport you want. You can't just join a sport for fun. I mean, you can join club sports, which yeah, you can do anything you really want in high school and college, even if you're not good at it. It's just, if you want to do it, people respect you for trying something, even if you're not good. Like, the only people that I ever received, like, I would say received hate from whenever I tried lacrosse out for a few weeks in high school. Yeah, I know I'm a loser for not pulling through with it, but was my friends, because they're like, they wanted me to get better, so they're hard on me. But everybody who was not my friend before that, they were the most supportive people. They understood, like, they saw I was not that good. I was really not that good. But people will support you. It doesn't, like, it was the people that I never, like, talked to or anything and gave them the time of day, because I thought they were too different from me to ever be my friend, but they were some of the nicest people, most supportive people out there. And that's the thing, no matter what group you join, you'll be surprised how much other people also want friends. Like, they want to be social, they want to have other people to talk to, they want to, like, they want friends too. That's why they join the group. Everybody joins the group, one, whenever it's a competitive sport, yeah, it's because they want to do that in the future, do that kind of stuff. But especially when it comes to clubs, why do you think people join clubs? It's so that they can get more friends, get some sort of social network. And that's one of the best things you can do. Now, college fraternities and that kind of stuff, I did try to rush a fraternity. It was a music fraternity. It was not any, like, sort of a party social group or anything. But I don't support fraternities. That kind of sounds bad, but I'm not the biggest fan of them. I just think they're dumb. Sorry if you're a fraternity guy. I think, oh gosh, I'm being real dumb. As I said, whatever group you're doing, you're going to you're going to grow to like the people, and you're going to only join a group if you actually do like it. And so, if you like the scene of, like, a frat group or anything like that, at the end of the day, it's just a bunch of guys who will be your brothers for life. That's why they're brothers. It's a fraternity because you're brothers. And I think me trying to join the group I was trying to join, no, I didn't know anybody there. Like, one of my close friends in my section, their boyfriend was in the group. It was an all-male group, as most fraternities are. Some marching band fraternities are not all male, so that's why I had to specify. Some are co-ed. That's what I'm trying to say. I guess there are all-female ones, which are also not male, but if there is some sort of thing that you are contemplating doing, stop contemplating. Like, that's one of the things. Don't, like, live life to the fullest. Do something. Like, one of the, like, the saddest things, like, as I was saying before, is not doing marching band my freshman year of high school. It just felt like I was an empty existence that only existed to have school. because once I got home, I distracted myself with video games and like something about like extracurricular activities. They're connected to school, but there's something that's not schoolwork and it's not work, it's fun. And so it's very important to have that sort of that like that guilty pleasure, that escape from institutionalized learning. It's just one of the most important things, and that's why I'm grateful for marching band, because it took me a lot to go out of my way to go and rush for the one fraternity, because I'm pretty extroverted once somebody gets to know me. But before somebody gets to know me, I am pretty introverted. And lots of people are like that. Like, lots of people don't exactly like social scenes. They're not exactly introverted, but you don't have to love social scenes. And I think that whoever needs to hear that might be important for. But just know, as I said, especially when it comes to sports and anything like that, something that you are putting yourself out there for, people will give you respect and appreciate that you're even trying, and appreciate that you are going out of your way to do it. So whenever as I said, when I did lacrosse, I was not good at it. Whenever I joined the baritone section for college marching band, do you think anybody told me I sucked? Yeah, maybe my friends that I started getting at the time, like, they're like, wow, you're so bad. It was a joke. I mean, one of my friends, I'm not going to say his name because he's not one of my closest friends, so I'm not going to expose him. But he was like, mainly because I would say how I was better than him, even though he was one of the best baritones in the entire school, because he was in the school of music. That's the only reason that he'd be like, yeah, you suck. But it's really cool. It's just very nice getting reassurance from other people and just hearing people give you positive affirmation, even if you do something terribly. Like, it's great to have some sort of group, because it just expands your social network, gives you friends for life, and it's just really a great old time. So I'm going to talk about this run for a second. This is a very bad run. I'm pretty unmotivated about this run. My first one was actually really good. I probably shouldn't have taken a devil deal with that little hearts. What the heck? I have so much health. It's such a sad existence, though, having to do so little damage. Oh, I can pick that up. So I don't think my survivability is too long once I get past these main floors, because like right there, it's the longer you are in a room, the more damage you're gonna take. So, and with the whole topic of joining a group, I hope if anybody out there needs to hear it, I hope that at least one person hears it and goes out there and actually tries to join a group. Because if I would have gone home like every single day of high school, every single day of marching bands, and just go back to my dorm, it is, I mean, it's not sad. If that's what you like, that's what you like. And I do like having, like, being by myself. And this last semester, it was, like, even spring semester, it's nice just going back to your room and just sitting in your room all day watching YouTube and that. But you need some sort of, like, outside communication that just allows you to, instead of just going back to your room and just procrastinating doing work by watching YouTube, because that's just what it feels like. Everything is about schoolwork, unless like I was in marching band, because at that point it was something that I had to do, but there's no homework. It was just a time to have fun and do something I enjoyed. So go out, do stuff, have lots of fun, make friends. That's one of the biggest things. Go make all the friends. The more friends you have, I mean, not the happier you'll be. There's people who are surrounded by people, and maybe they're not the happiest people out there, but if you put yourself out there, you'll be maybe surprised and very happy with the results that you get. So if anybody out there is lonely, needs somebody to play games with, hey man, Papa Priets is out here. And I understand lots of people are probably, they might be older than me watching this, so it might be creepy calling me Papa Priets. And also, if you're younger than me, I call myself Papa Priets. That's also super creepy. I'm just not going to comment. Please, just wipe that from your brain cells. I don't think anybody wants that in their memories, especially me. I don't want that in your memories. I feel like that right there can get me in a sticky situation of, hold on, let's just, next subject. Right now this video is running kind of long. It's right now already at 50 minutes and not much is happening, and so I might have to commit seppuku. If I don't get anywhere in the next 10 minutes, if I don't get some game-changing item, I might honestly end the run, because one, it's late. Also, my throat really it's really dry. I need water, and I'm too lazy to pause this and edit like me going upstairs, like edit out me going upstairs to get water. So I'm kind of dying. I'm not gonna front, gamers. So yeah, that was in a really awkward part of this episode, so the only people who are really going to see that are probably only Damien. So, Damien, if you need to hear that message, say yay, because I know that yesterday yay was our code word, because we were having so much fun with JP that we just said yay to make it seem like we were having fun. I mean, to show that we were having fun. That's what I meant to say. Not that we weren't having fun. Yeah, there's no way we were not having fun with JP doing stuff with him. But, yeah. This is a very painful run. I hate I hate having no damage. No damage. Like, if anybody's ever tried to fight like Hush Delirium with 3.5 damage, it's possible. It is very possible. You can do it. You don't need any items to get through this game. Like, right now, I'm not playing the smartest because I'm not really having the most fun with this run. Am I having fun? Yeah, I always have fun playing Isaac. It's fun even when you do bad. Right now I'm having a great time talking, honestly. This is one of my favorite, most passionate, I think passionate I've been about talking. So, yeah. Put yourself, seek discomfort. Yes, theory puts it the best way. Maybe you don't have to go out and, ask random strangers on a date. That kind of get a little weird. I don't think anybody is really that extroverted. Some people are, and that scares me that there's people that are that extroverted, but it's fine. They do that. They do them. They are cool people. They know themselves enough. They're comfortable with themselves. I wish I could be that comfortable with myself, and go out and do crazy things like that. The Nelk boys, people that do stuff even Filthy Frank, iDubbbz, people who go out and do stuff that is so hard to watch. Mad respect for them. I could never go out and do something like that. I would probably die of embarrassment. But I am jealous of those people. I am very happy that they know themselves that well and that they are that confident with themselves. So I might actually, yeah, this is what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pretend that this next boss fight's the final boss, and once I beat it, I'm gonna exit out and be like, yeah, I won this run. Even though I'm saying that right now, it's a pretty bad excuse, but I gotta do it. So, I really hope you guys are enjoying this series. I know, especially this episode, it's a very lame episode. I died early on, and I am just trash tier at I'm doing pretty trash tier at this game. So, I'm just gonna pretend I'm breaking down. Oh, a mom fight? Look, it's the final boss if you are first playing this game at some point. Wow. I'm not taking damage on purpose, honestly. I'm actually probably just tired. But what an experience. What an experience indeed. And I'm probably going to revisit some of these topics if ever anybody's watching this, because I kind of don't think about the idea of people going back and rewatching stuff. So if you're watching this right now and I have more than 11 viewers and it's more than 6 months in the future and you want me to go back and talk about any of this stuff and talk about it in more detail, I will. One thing is, until I get bigger on YouTube, or not when I get bigger, if I were to get bigger, maybe I'll talk about more stories that I would not say are incriminating, because it's stories that I would tell my friends. If they're if I got bigger, I would start treating this more as stories I would tell my friends, and not I guess the word censor is not the best thing, but I'm not trying to divulge my life right now to the world if I'm not gonna not gain anything. That's also really bad to say. I'm not gonna. It's unless I get big and I know that I don't need to get a job, and I don't. What I say on the internet won't really affect my job because my job will be the internet. That's the only way I would maybe get a little bit more saucy with my stories. So I hope you guys are enjoying everything. As I said, later in the future, if you guys ever want me to talk about it and you're coming back and watching these videos to the end, I respect that. I hope that right now, me, Jonas, me, Priets, is huge. I hope that I am one of the... I hope I'm bigger than PewDiePie when you're watching this. And if I am bigger than PewDiePie, that's sick. But I don't think... I'm not going to get Boss Rush. I'm not confident in that I'm going to be able to fight Hush. So, on that note, I'm so sorry. This is probably one of the lamest episodes, actual gameplay-wise, that you will probably see me do. Hopefully you see me do. And it's pretty lame of me just to stop it in the middle, but that... For my sanity's sake, I am not going to put... on a normal basis, I would not continue that run. So I really hope you guys are enjoying this series, because I'm having an absolute blast. This is my 15th episode. Like, that's not that much. There's people out there, like Sinvicta, who are on their, like, 400th, maybe almost close to 500th episode. But I have uploaded 30 videos as you're watching this. That is such a big accomplishment for me. Before this, I never uploaded a single YouTube video, even though I always wanted to. So, hope you guys are enjoying. I'm having a great time. This has been Priets. Yeah, this has been Priets. Sorry, that was a really... my voice was going the wrong way, but this is Priets. Peace out. Bye.